So we did 3 blocks yesterday. What do you think? Can we do 3 again today? Hey everyone, Cristin Som here, and we are continuing with our Jingle All the Way quilt. So we are just jamming along. We're actually pretty close to having section 4 done, and I'm thinking we can finish it today. And how fun will that be to get another whole section done? So these are sections 1, 2, and 3, and then we have all of those blocks for section 4. There were quite a few of them. I told you this one was going to be a pretty big one. So we had the 4 chenille tree blocks. All of those that you guys did such a great job on them. Oh my gosh, they are so cool looking. And then we also did the 3 holly leaves yesterday. Those were very simple. A lot of cutting though. That cutting was not super simple. And then we have all these other blocks, tons of other blocks for our quilt. There's more than that even, quite a few more. I didn't grab them all. Anyway, so today I'm thinking that we can try and get 3 blocks, and depending on your hoop size, I'm thinking I'm going to use my biggest hoop, and so you may not have that biggest hoop, so I'm going to show you some other options, but they're easy blocks, just kind of big. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to go for today. So the first one is the December 25 block. So that is on page 6. I almost said 1 because it says that we only need 1 of them, but it's on page 6. This is again on the oldest book, but look at, very simple. All right, like almost nothing to it, just like our holly leaves block. This will be a very simple one. So let's talk about this one first, and then we'll talk about the next after that. So on this one, very simple. Like I said, you always know that it's a simple block when there's almost nothing in the packet. So this is the white houndstooth fabric. This is going to be our main fabric, so make sure to back this with fusible stabilizer. It also helps you to tell what side, the front from the back. So on this one, I assume 6.5. Yep, 6.5 by 6.5 for our main fabric, backed with fusible stabilizer. All right, and then we have just 2 applique pieces. So the first one is the red scroll fabric. That's for the 2 of the 25. And this one we're going to have it 3 by 3. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. It's an applique piece. I like to do that on my applique pieces, but it's optional. The main fabric, definitely do it, but the other one's pretty optional. All right, so 3 by 3 for this red scroll fabric for the number 2. And then the last one is this 5. It's the number 5 on the applique, and it is the green doodle fabric. All right, the green doodle fabric. And this one actually says green doodles. There was one I was not sure of yesterday. I wonder if it said it in the book. That would be funny. Anyway, so I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. 3 by 3 on this piece for the 5. It's for the 5. All right, so, and that's it. That's all we need. And then the batting, of course, don't forget your batting. So the batting, our final cut size is going to be 4.5 by 4 now, so that means we want a piece of batting that is 5 by 5. All right, 5 by 5 for your batting. This is for the Christmas 25, December 25, sorry, December 25 block, and it's on page 6 in my book, depending on what revision you have. All right, so that will be super simple. All right, and for our quilting on the December 25 block, it says in the book or in the guide to use Celebration 3, which is the bows. Do you remember the bows? We did the bows on our 9-patch block. So you could absolutely have that Celebration 3 bows. So you're going to want a 4x4 quilting design, whatever quilting design you choose. I haven't actually decided what to do. So the bows would be great. This is really cute. And I'll tell you that December 25, the applique from the 2 and the 5, it takes up a lot of space. So you're not going to see much, whatever you decide on your quilting design. So this one is good because it goes all the way to the edges. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I saw someone did lines on one of their blocks recently, and it looked really good because it goes all the way to the edges. So you could do something like that, a plaid, anything like that. another option that I haven't decided on yet. There is a Christmas 9, and it is the Christmas words, and it has the 25 in there. And so I'm leaning toward that, but again, you're not going to see much of it. So that's the only thing. So whatever quilting design that you want in a 4x4, right now I'm leaning toward Christmas 9 in a 4x4, and like I said, it's the words. It's got Christmas words. I think it had a tree. It definitely has the 25, and that's what made me lean toward that one. But I haven't decided 100% for sure, so I'll decide once I get to the computer. So that's all we need for the December 25 block. Super simple block. Just decide what quilting design that you want. That's going to be the hardest part today, I think. All right, so let's talk about what else we're going to work on. Now, you can do that one little tiny block in a little tiny hoop and move on to these, or you can mush them all together, and that's what I'm thinking of doing. So the only thing is the border blocks for section 4 are big. All right, so that's going to be the biggest concern. So let's go ahead and go over what we need for that, and then we'll talk about our options. So section 4, it looks like they're on page 13 and 14 for the section 4 border blocks. And don't forget, in the prep video, I told you I recommend cutting the border blocks a 1/2 inch larger. It helps so that it will tack it down. All right, and I really like that tack down, and then I measure it and use that as my cutting. So do what works for you. If you already cut before you saw the prep video, you can absolutely use the sizes that are in the book. I just find it easier to have the border blocks a 1/2 inch larger. So whatever works for you. All right, so let's talk about the border blocks. Let me turn to that page real quick. Mine, I think it was on page 14. All right, on my book, the oldest book. So on this one, there are just 2 border blocks. They're pretty simple. Border blocks are very simple, but these have a little twist to it, or one of them has a twist to it because it's really big. So let's just talk about that. I should have numbered these. Oh, I do. Look at that. They are numbered. So number 7, border block number 7 is the big one that I was telling you about. It's a very long one. All right. So it is the black plaid. That is the fabric for this one. At least in the old book, I don't think I have an update for that. So hopefully that means our sponsor had it for you. So on this one in the book, it will have told you to do, what was it? 2.5 by 16.5 is what it says in the book. So my recommendation is 3 by 17. All right, that's my suggestion. Like I said, it makes it so that you can, it won't pull in from the stitches. It won't make it smaller, because if it's 2.5 by 16.5, you won't want any pulling in. You won't want any problems, because that's the size that is going to go into your quilt. So if you have a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit bigger, that's my recommendation. So 3 by 17 on this. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer, and I'm kind of leaning toward adding something to this. I haven't decided for sure. It's a pretty busy fabric, so do what works for you. But 3 by 17 if you can, if you have enough fabric. If not, the 2.5 by 16.5 will work. And I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. All right, that's the first one for today, which is border block number 7. For border block number 8, it is, the original fabric is the holly leaves. The red holly leaves. All right, very busy fabric, very pretty, very cute. I love this. So this one, we are going to want this to be 4 by 12, which means in the book it will be 3.5 by 11.5. I should check that to make sure, because I don't recall. Let me see here. So the quilting, so you know what? I think it's 4.5 by 12.5 is what it says in the book, because our quilting is going to be 4 by 12. So sorry, my mistake on that. So on the holly leaves, once again, 4.5 by 12.5 is what it will say in the book. And if you cut it to 4.5 by 12.5, that's fine. But my recommendation would be 5 by 13. All right. Like I said, give you that little bit of wiggle room, but whatever works either way, 4.5 by 12.5 or 5 by 13. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. This is our border block. And then, like I said, it will tack it down. And then once you measure it, make sure it didn't pull in, you can cut it using the basting stitch. All right. So on that one thing is that our sponsor gave us this tufted. So the red tufted fabric or the red holly leaves fabric. All right. Either one of these, 4.5 by 12.5 or 5 by 13. Okay. And then we want our batting. So our batting on that first one, I should have added this in at that time, sorry. So this was the border block number 7, and we want our batting to be, what is it, 3 by 17, all right, 3 by 17, just like I recommended that you cut your fabric if you have enough, if you're able, all right, 3 by 17 for your batting, all right, and then on the quilting on this one, so in the book, it says to use Christmas 5, which is in the Jingle All the Way bundle, and you're going to do a 2 by 8 twice because this is a really big piece of fabric. So 2 by 8 2 times. So if you don't recall, like if you have a little bit of a panic of, oh, how do I do that twice? Just think of the inner borders and the outer borders. It's going to be that same technique. All right. When it stops with the stitching, you fold it in half, put it down for that next hooping. All right. I'm leaning toward using my big hoop, so I would not need to rehoop it. So that's why I'm giving you this clue. Don't forget, and don't get held up on that. You're going to do it just like you do the inner borders and the outer borders. It won't be a problem. You will need a double hoop if you have a smaller hoop. All right. If you have the big 10 by 16 hoop, I don't know about other brands. If there's other ones, then you should be able to do this in one hooping. All right, and I'll make sure of that when we go over to the computer. Now, the quilting, like I said, Christmas 5 is what they recommend, and doing a 2 by 8 2 times, all right? 2 by 8 twice. The Christmas 5 is the one with the jingle words, all right? And I haven't decided for sure, but I found this other option. So this is kind of what I'm leaning toward. There's a train one quilting design. And if I did that in a 2 by 8 twice, I'd have a cute little, cause this block will go sideways. So if you did a train 2 times on that, how cute would that be, right? So that's one thing I'm leaning toward, or another option is actually getting a mini train design and putting it on this fabric. But again, this fabric's pretty busy. So it's something I'm considering. I did buy a little train design that I will show you. I think it's pretty darn cute. But the train one quilting and a train embroidery design, or again, the Christmas 5, the jingle words, that will work absolutely fine too. So whatever you decide, totally up to you, your quilt, your way. So back to border block number 8. This one, we are going to have our batting be, what should it be? 5 by 13. 5 by 13. All right, for your batting, 5 by 13, same as the my recommendation of cutting your fabric if you have enough and if you're able. 5 by 13 for your batting, all right? And then on this one, it's Christmas 1, which is the gingerbread. I think that will be really cute. This is a very busy design, so you don't want to put something that's even more busy, but that a gingerbread, I think that will be cute. So whatever quilting design that you want in a 4 by 12, all right? 4 by 12 quilting design. I'm going to use Christmas 1, which is the one with the gingerbread. All right, simple, right? There's still a little up in the air about what to do with this really big one because I'm leaning toward adding to it since it's sideways. I think that would be really cute to add a Christmas train, but I haven't decided for sure. Either way, that December 25 block, super simple, and then 2 border blocks, and they are very simple. The only thing is they're big. All right, so you will need to either double hoop or have a very large hoop. Either way, we'll get through it. 3 blocks, and then we're going to finish up section 4. Okay, so I have to just show you, even though I haven't taught you how to do it yet, look at, oh my gosh, isn't that so cute? I love how that turned out. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and it does take a lot of steps, but it is really fun. Super, super, super cute. So for anyone that has made a donation to the Cristin Creates tutorials, and shows me that you purchased this design. So keep in mind, this design is from So Cha Cha on Etsy. So it's not mine. I can't send it to you for free. You have to purchase the design and send me an email or a message on Facebook with a screenshot of your purchase from So Cha Cha. And if you do that, I'll go ahead and send you the adjusted file. You won't have to go through. It took quite a bit of steps, but it was really worth it. Super, super cute. And you can definitely do it. And if you're wanting to learn in Brilliance, boy, this is a great opportunity to do it. But if not, if you want to do it the easy way, you purchase it from So Cha Cha on Etsy. Make sure that you've sent a donation to Cristin Creates. I have everyone during this project. So I've got a spreadsheet of all of you that did it. You just have to send me a screenshot and make sure that you've sent a donation to Cristin Creates Tutorials, and I will send you the completed file for you to just stitch out. It is done in 2 hoopings, but it's really darn cute. So very fun design. Okay, are you ready to try a little something special? So I tested it out because it's kind of a lot, so don't be intimidated. Keep in mind, this is just a stretch. This is if you want to add to it. You absolutely don't have to. There's lots of different options. So I'm going to open up in Brilliance Essentials. I'm going to put 3 blocks in one hooping, and one of them I'm going to do a double hoop. So that the long plaid one that I was telling you about, that we're going to do a 2x8 twice, I was thinking, oh, I'll just do it in my big 10x16 hoop. Well, a 2x8 quilting design is 2.5 by 8.5, which means you double it and it'll be 17. So it actually doesn't fit in my hoop. And it's kind of a lot to do it that way anyway. So, and I think most people will be doing a double hooping. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to do it a little bit different in that I'm going to put 3 blocks together in one hooping, and then we'll do a separate hooping for the second hooping of that plaid. Have I confused you enough yet? All right, I've opened up in Brilliance Essentials. I'm on my 9x14 hoop, and that is what I'm going to need. If you have a 10x16 hoop, you can do this in that hoop. You'd have to still do a double hooping or have a little bit less quilting. You can shrink it down and have it be smaller if you want. I want the full thing, so I'm going to go for it. So like I said, I'm in my 9x14 hoop. If you're not on the hoop size that you want, come up here to this preferences folder, click on that, click on the hoop size you want, say okay, and then come up here to this compass button and click H for hoop. All right. So I'm going to simplify this as much as I can. And again, it's a stretch exercise. It's something fun to learn new things if you want to. So I'm going to start by bringing in, let's see, I think I'll bring in the quilting design for the large red block. That is border block number 8. I think I'm going to start with that one because that's the simplest. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to preferences. Actually, I think I'll go to the folder, but I want to remember to show you at the end about saving, because someone was asking about saving and it wasn't going to the file they wanted, and you have to tell it where to go. So I want to try and remember to show you that. I think I've shown it on a lot of videos, but just in case. All right, so I'm going to open up my Jingle All the Way folder. You can do it that way, or you can go to Merge Stitch File and navigate to where you have the folder. Either way works fine. I'm going to go ahead and just open up this folder. Hopefully it's not blocking my head from you, but we'll see. So I'm going to start with Christmas 1. That is the gingerbread design, and that is the quilting design that I'm going to use for this one block. This is for border block number 8. So I believe it's in the bundle. Let me see. That's Christmas 2, bundle. Quilting. I've bought a few different designs during this project. So sorry, my phone. It's dinner time too, so my brain's going to be all foggy because I haven't eaten yet. But so let's see. Quilting bundle, Christmas 1, right there. It is in the Jingle All the Way quilting bundle. So I'm going to open that up, go to embroidery files, block by block. Pez is what I use for my machine. And we want a 4x12 quilting design. So 4 by 12 right there. I'm going to double click on that. Nope. When you do it by the folder, when you open up this way versus the merge stitch file, you don't double click. My mistake. I forget that every time. Drag it, just click it and drag it over to your Embrilliance workspace, and that will work great. So 4 by 12 is the quilting design you want. If you only have an 8 by 12 hoop, like I've said in several videos, you would take out steps 3 and 4 of the quilting design. That's what makes it a 1/2 inch larger. But I'm on my 9 by 14 hoop, so I don't need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this. I'm going to click on it and just use the left arrow key on my keyboard to bring it all the way over to the left. And I'll probably be moving things around a little bit, but that helps show you how to do some things too. So we'll just stay with that. All right, now I want to make sure to change these colors so that all of the 3 quilting designs will join together. That will save us on a lot of time. So I'm going to click outside so nothing's selected, then click on 1, click on the color, and I'm going to choose the first color that comes up for me. Now notice I'm on palettes. That's because I was doing something else. Make sure you're on threads in this view window here. All right, so threads, and then the first color that comes up for me is dark aqua. So I'm going to click on that and say okay. All right, and then 1, 2 up here in this objects window, 1, 2, then down in the properties window, click on the color, and I'm going to choose the first color that comes up for me, which is blaze. Say okay. Then 1, 3, click on the color. I want the second color down because we already used dark aqua. You can see it there in the objects window. I'm going to choose marine and say okay. And like I've said on all my videos, it doesn't matter what color. I'm just choosing the first one that comes up. It's just easier and quicker. All right, then 1, 4, click on the color. I want the second color down for me. That's Oriole. See, I'm on Fil-Tec Glide. That's my preferred thread, and that's why these colors come up. So you've got a whole bunch of options of thread colors. So whatever comes up for you works great. All right, and then 1, 5. Now, one of these, this is something we'll have to keep in mind. I'm going to have them all be different so that I can decide when I get there. But one of them is on white and black plaid fabric. One of them is on red busy fabric, and one of them's on white fabric. So we really don't want this part, the 1, 5, we don't want that to join with our other one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, click on the color down in the properties window, and I'm going to choose Sprout for this one. And then I'm going to make sure to do it differently for the other 2. All right, that one is done. Click outside so nothing is selected. When I say click outside, it can be in this window here on your workspace, or it can be in this objects window. It doesn't matter. You're just clicking so that nothing is standing out. Like before, we were probably on 1, 5. So I want to make sure that nothing's selected. All right, that one is done. And we're not adding to that one because that one's got busy fabric. It's got the holly leaves fabric. So that one's too busy, in my opinion, to add to it. All right, now the next one I'm going to bring in, I'm going to go ahead and do the December 25 block, and I'm going to save the border block number 7 for last because that's the one I'm going to add to. Now, the December 25 block, I went round and round and round on what quilting design I wanted. I even bought the, I think it was called Christmas 9, and that one had December 25 on there. It had Christmas trees. I thought it would be really cute, but this block is just, the applique on it and the embroidery is too big on it, and you really can't see the background design. So I wanted one that was going to go all the way to the edges. So that's what I decided on. Now in the Jingle All the Way bundle, there is chevron, the bows. There's a few that go all the way to the edges, and those will be great. I looked at them and they look great, no problem. But I decided I wanted plaid. I don't know why, but I was leaning toward plaid. So I went ahead and I went into my previous purchases because, you know, I lost everything when my hard drive failed. So I re-downloaded from Kimberbell my plaid design, and they have, I think, 4 different plaid designs. So I'm using the original one, the plaid one is what I decided on. And again, any 4x4 quilting design, preferably one that goes all the way, because you're really not going to see a whole lot of the quilting because of how busy or how full the block is. So I'm going to go back to my Jingle All the Way. Actually, it's not in the Jingle All the Way bundle. It's in my folder because I brought it into there. So I want plaid. That's what I'm going to use. So if you did, I think that one came out with falling for autumn or spring showers. I think it was spring showers. So anytime that you've purchased a design from Kimberbell and used in the past, you can re-download it from the Kimberbell website or just look through your folders if you've got them all organized. Like I said, I lost all mine, so I had to re-download. So plaid one is the one I've decided on. So embroidery files, Pez, and then whatever design you want a 4x4 design. So I'm going to click on the 4x4, drag it over here. It goes to the center, so I want to make sure to move it, and I'm just going to bring it over here. Now I want to point this out. Look how close this is. Normally I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it when the things are too close. But keep in mind that our border blocks, they're either exactly the size you need if you followed the book, or if you followed my prep video, then it's a 1/2 inch bigger. So there's not going to be a whole lot of extra fabric on this one. This one will. This is the December 25 block. That one will have 2 inches on each side. So there will be overlap for sure. So you'll have to watch that if you decide on the 9x14 hoop. If you do the 10x16 hoop, you won't have that issue. But I decided that more people have the 9x14 hoop, so I'm going to do it this way. And either way, I'm going to have to rehoop and do that, that border block number 7. And so because of that, I decided, well, I'm just going to do the 9x14, and then on my next hooping, we'll do a 2x8 again. So that one I'll probably use my 6x10 hoop. All right, so bring in your plaid or bows or chevron, whatever design that you choose for your quilting on December 25th. And then we want to change these colors again. So we want 1 through 4 to be the same as 2 through 4, except not that quilting, the last one, number 5. So I'm going to quickly go through here. 2, 1, click on the color. I know I want dark aqua because that's what I used before. You're just going to follow these same colors that are up here in the objects window. And then 2, 2, click on the color. I want blaze. 2, 3, click on the color and I want marine. 2, 4, click on the color and I want Oriole. And then 2, 5, click on the color, and I'm going to use the second color down because I don't want sprout, because like I said, this block is going to be on red and this block is going to be on white. So I don't want sprout because I want it stop. It will create a stop so that I have time to change my thread color. So I'm going to choose sea green, the next color down, and that one is done for the quilting. All right, this one is completely done because we're not adding to it. This one we have that December 25 we're going to add to. But I want to bring in the third quilting design first, just so that they're in order of how I want them. I like to do all of the quilting first. That saves time from taking your hoop on and off your machine to cut that batting and do all the stuff. So I'm just going to do all the quilting first. So I'm going to go I'm going to go back to this folder actually. You can do it from the merge stitch file. Now on this one, this is the that 3x17 piece of fabric if you cut it bigger, otherwise 2.5x16, but it's border block number 7. So I have to tell you, I thought about doing train 1. It is a quilting design on kimberbell.com, and I thought that would be super cute. And you could do that and leave it and be done. But I decided I wanted more to it. And train 1, such a cute idea, but it will clash with what I ended up deciding on doing. So I'm not doing that, but you could absolutely do that. Super cute. You can do any quilting design that you want. What did I decide on? Lines. I decided on lines. So lines 3, I think it is the one that is in the Jingle All the Way bundle. So if you have that, if you purchase that bundle, then you're all set if you want to do lines. And I'm going to do them vertically. So I'm doing them a little bit different than I originally thought I was going to do horizontally. And I decided on vertically. I think maybe because it looks like a train track. I don't know. I was leaning toward, I wanted like snowfall, but none of the ones with snowfall worked out. So I'm going to go ahead and do lines. So let's see. It's in the Jingle All the Way bundle right there. And lines 3. Embroidery files, Pez is what I use for my machine, and we want a 2x8. Make sure to choose the 2x8. And like I said, this is the one that we're going to have to do twice. All right, we'll have to rehoop it. You can come up here to this view window because this does come in horizontal and vertical, and then that gives you an option to be able to see it. So 2x8, there's the horizontal and there's the vertical. The block is going to be going horizontally, so keep that in mind when you decide. That's why I thought I was going to do this vertical one, but I ended up deciding I want the horizontal. I don't know if it was because it looks like a train track or if it's because it kind of looks like maybe something coming down, like I was thinking snow, whatever, but I decided I'm going to do this lines 3 and horizontal. So I'm going to bring that over, just click it and drag it over. It goes to the center, and then I'm going to bring it down here, but I'm going to end up moving it just so that you can see how to work with it. But for now, I'm going to just bring it down to the bottom here, over to the side, and you can see there's going to be overlap a little bit, but not too badly, because this one is the only one that's going to be big. These two will be at most a ½ inch larger. All right, so I want to change the colors on this one. I'm on number 3 now, the third design. So 3-1, click on the color. I want dark aqua, same as before. 3-2, click on the color, and I want blaze. 3-3, click on the color, and I want marine. 3-4, click on the color, and I want Oriole. Now 3-5, I want different so that it does not join with the others. All right, so I'm going to click on that, and I want mint. The third color down for me is mint, so I'm going to choose that one just so that it gives me that stop. All right, so those 3 quilting designs are done. I'm just closing up these designs so that I can see them all easily. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Those are the designs. They're in the order that I want them to be. That's why I brought them in this way. Now, the next thing to bring in is that December 25 design. So for that, I'm going to go, let's see, back to my Jingle All the Way folder, and I want the embroidery files, Pez, and we want the 4x4 December 25 design right there. Make sure it's the 4x4. I assume there's more later, but we don't want it bigger. We want it to be this 4x4. So click that, drag it over to your desktop, or not desktop, your workspace, and it does go in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to bring it up here, and it does not have to be perfect at all. We're going to do an align and distribute. Now notice that there's those cyan and oranges. Those are our placement and tack down stitches. So there's the one for the 2, placement tack down, and then the placement tack down for the 5. All right, so, and then we have chartreuse and red and black. So we should be okay on those colors. We'll see with what we're also adding in. But the cyan and orange, if we do a color sort and we don't change these, those are going to join together. So we want to make sure to change those, all right, so that they don't join together. You can just choose 2 of them. Excuse me. So like the cyan and orange, we can have one of them because we don't have cyan and orange anywhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on 4-3. That's the number 5 design. And I'm going to change it, the color. So don't choose marine because we already used marine. I'm going to choose Hawaiian blue. I don't believe we have that. So I'm going to choose the next color down, Hawaiian blue. Say okay. And then 4-4, click on the color. And I'm going to choose Halloween and say okay. So the rest of these should be fine. We'll make sure in just a moment, but that should be good. Now we want to make sure to do a line and distribute so that these are lined up just right. We don't want to chance it and just eyeball it. We want to make sure that that's right. So if we click on, let's see, it was the second design. So if we click on number 2, hold down that control button and keep holding it while we click on design number 4, which is that December 25 design, and go up here to utility, align and distribute. And I'm going to say center, center, apply. And you saw it moved over to the right just a bit. All right, so that was good. So that one is done. Now here's the stretch exercise. Like I said, you can be done at this point. You can absolutely be done, or you can add to it if you choose. I forgot I need to show you what I ended up buying. Hold on. Okay, so I went on to Etsy and I knew I wanted a train. I don't know why, but I thought that big long piece of fabric, that would be really fun with the train. It'd be even more fun if the fabric wasn't so busy, the plaid, but I still think it'll be really cute. So decide for you what works for you. You can leave it as is. You can add a fun quilting design to it and use thread that's going to stand out. You can change your fabric to be less busy if you want to add to it, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to keep with the plaid fabric and I'm going to add to it. So what I decided on is this really cute. Look at this train. Isn't it so cute? It's a Christmas train even. It's not just a train, it's a Christmas train. So this is super cute and it's a mini. So this is from So Cha Cha on Etsy. I will add a link underneath this video, or you can go onto Etsy and type in Christmas train or So Cha Cha, whatever works for you to find it. It is $7. It's 4 different designs. You get all 4 of these different designs in their own download, so that you can do it however you want to do it. So that's the one I decided on. I did purchase that design, and that's totally optional, of course, for your stretch exercise. So it does come, like I said, in 4 different downloads. All right. And so you download them to your computer, wherever you want them. I had them on my desktop, and then unzip them, and then we can bring them over. So remember I said earlier that I'm probably going to move this around, because I find it a lot easier to work on something like this when it's facing the right direction. So what I'm going to do just for now, I'm going to bring up this design. I'll bring it down later. And then I'm going to turn this, and I'm not going to have it turned for anything other than for placing my train. So you can, whatever is going to work for you to be able to see it right. So I like to line it up on one of the lines on Embrilliance. You can see I'm doing it on this bottom line here. And I'm going to use this orange line as my guide, but I'm also going to use the Align and Distribute. So you'll see a lot of stuff here. All right, so I'm going to start with the train engine. I believe that was this one. And I think, if I recall, there were 3 different sizes, and I didn't do the biggest one. It was too big, the 2.25. You could do that one and shrink it down, or you can do the 1.75, which I think ended up being the right size that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that from my download, and I'm going to drag it over. And as you know, it goes to the center. I'm going to close this one so we can see it. So there's the super cute train. Isn't that so cute? There is a lot of stitching, but when we do our color sort, it will save on a lot of time, because we can do it for all 4 of the pieces of the train. All right, so for now, it's in the center. I'm going to bring it down to my border block. Now, this I want to point out. Get this one and the last one in the area that you want it, meaning like not over here. You want it within those orange lines from the batting. All right, this is the placement stitch for the batting, that orange line. The red line is the placement stitch and tack down for the main fabric. We want it within that batting. All right. So the first one and the fourth one, we're going to do our Align and Distribute, but it's a lot easier if you have the first one situated as far as where you want it. Like if you wanted it over a little bit more or close to the edge, whatever, but not, it doesn't matter the line, the bottom part, but just within that orange batting line. I hope that makes sense. All right, so that's that first one. All right, and then I'm going to bring in, I think it was, I have to remember, I think I ended up doing 4, 2, 3, 4, I have to think about this. So I think I did the snowman next. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the snowman. I already did this once. I should have saved it so I could remember what I decided on, but I'm going to choose the snowman. So I'm opening up the snowman folder that, like I said, you have to download it and then you have to unzip it. And then again, I'm using that 1.75. I'll tell you more in a second here. So for now, click on the 1.75 snowman, bring him over, just click and drag him to your workspace. I'm going to close that folder. He goes to the center, and you can see there's going to be a big jump stitch here. We'll have to fix that, but it won't be a problem. We'll cut it afterwards. All right, now this one, you can have it be as haphazard as you want. You can have it up here. The only thing I don't want you to do is have it down below this orange line. You want everything above the orange line, and then you can just do it however you want. And I'll do it messy so you can see what I mean. All right, so that's the second one. Now I'm going to bring in the little cart, flat car. That's what it's called, flat car. So I'm going to click on that, choose the 1.75, drag it over to my workspace, close that folder. Now, this is what I was going to mention. I thought about, because this one is quite a bit smaller, so I thought about doing the next size up on this one, but then the wheels aren't the same size. So just keep that in mind. Do what you want to do, but that was my thought process on it. All right, so that one is done. And then I'm going to bring in the elf. There's an elf too. Excuse my phone. Let's see. He is right here. Yep, there's the elf. All right, so 1.75 elf. Drag it over to your workspace and then bring him down. Now, I have to remember. I don't remember if I ended up with 4 or 5 because I initially did the wrong size of the quilting and I thought, oh, I can fit all of this. And then I realized I was in the wrong size quilting. So I think I'll just do, let's see. I think I'll just do 4. I don't know. Let's look and see. When we align and distribute it, we'll see how much room we have. So whatever you decide, you do want to make sure, let me think. Oh, I remember. It must have been 5. So what I'm going to do, I am going to click on the flat card and I'm going to say Control C and Control V. Control C like copy and Control V like victory just to paste a second one. Or you can bring it in from your folder, whatever works. All right, so there's our 5 designs. You can fit 5 on here. Now remember I said that you want to make sure that that first one and the 5th one, you want them all lined up within that batting. All right, so that's the key thing. It doesn't have to be placed exactly right, just not underneath that batting stitch, this one right here, and not over it, all right, within that batting stitch. Okay, and like I said, that's that orange stitch. All right, so I might move this over just a bit more. All right, so as long as 1 and 5 are within how close you want them to the edge, all right? And you can see I've got mine pretty close to the edge, but not over it at all. All right, so that's done. Now I'm going to click outside so nothing is selected. I'm going to close up these design files here so I can see them all. You just click on them and it closes them. Okay, I'll close that one too so we can see everything. All right, now here's how I figured out how to make this work. So if you click down from the bottom and drag up on these train designs, so it's these 5 train designs or 4 if you decided on 4. I'm pretty sure I decided on 5. So there's we want to have all of those selected and we go over to Utility, Align and Distribute. And we're going to start by just clicking bottom. All right, just click bottom so that they'll move them all down to the bottom. All right, and you'll watch over here and you'll see them move because we did them pretty haphazardly so that you can see. And if I recall, it will line them up with the lowest one. That's why I was saying you don't want it under that line. It looks like this one is the lowest one, so I assume they'll all line up that way. So let's try that first. All right, so now they're all lined up, so that is good. Another thing that you can do is you can put this on the center line and then you can, well, it doesn't matter, but so you want to make sure, so I've got them right on that bottom of the batting line. So, and I do have a little bit of room up top. You can see here and from the nose and the elf feet. So I'm going to move all of them while they're all selected. I'm going to move them up just a bit. Nope, it doesn't let me do it while this window is open. All right, so now I can. And this is what I was saying, like if you wanted to line it up, if you wanted to line your quilting design right with the center mark, then you can have it all be centered too. But I'm just eyeballing this part. I just don't want it, I want to have it fit well within. All right, so while those, I moved it up two notches from the bottom of this orange line. And to do that, I just hit the arrow key on my keyboard, up arrow. So I brought them all up just a little bit. All right, and now while they're still all selected, I'm going to go back to that Utility, Align and Distribute. And now we're going to go to the Distribute tab right here. And it took me a lot of tries of getting this right, and I think I've got it. So these actually, so you can see there's not much space between here. There's more space. It's pretty close actually. But so what I'm going to do, I believe it was bottom and spacing that gave me the result I wanted. So bottom here on the left and then spacing up on the top, and click apply, and everything moved over. Not everything, because not the first and the last one, but all the 3 in the middle moved over a little bit. And now you can see that they are aligned and distributed in the correct amount of space. All right, so that was done. That's done. That was super easy. Now I want to take a look at these colors so that I can do them all at once. I want it to do all of the green, all of the red. That will make it a lot faster. So I'm going to just take a quick look here. So lime green, red. I'm curious what it will do when we do our color sort. It'll be interesting to see how much it actually sorts. Hopefully it'll do, I would like it if it did all of them. That would be quick. All right, now that we've done our align and distribute, we've got our 3 blocks the way that we want them. Now we want to do a color sort. So keep in mind that these little train engines and all the carts or whatever they're called, that's a lot of like, we're going to work on one train at a time and lots of red here and green here, and we can save some steps. But there's a few things that I want to point out to you. So you want to check the order of the stitches. So in other words, say that this snowman is going to come down further, then he will block the detail of this train. This top hood part, whatever you call this, if that were underneath the red, we're not going to see this detail. So there's a few parts that we want to make sure that they are on top, so that they are seen. So in other words, like say that we did the white first and then we did the red, you're not going to see the white parts of these wheels. So we do want to be careful of that. So you can leave it as is. You could do a color sort before you bring in the train, just to get the batting parts, the quilting designs together. I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to try and see what we can join and what we have to move around a little bit. So looking at it, I can tell that this green is going to be an issue, and the snowman and the wheels are going to be an issue. So I'm going to show you a workaround. So I'm going to open up this first train. So here is that hood part. That's what I was saying, that this should be on the top. If this red goes over it, we're not going to see this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this so that it won't join with the other parts of the green, because most of the other parts of the green, I think pretty much all of them, we're going to want those to be underneath pretty much everything, but not this one. So I'm going to change the color of this. So I'm on 5-2. It's the 5th design. It's the train engine. It's the second part of that. So 5-2, I'm going to click on the color in the properties window, and I'm just going to change it to, let's see, I'm going to choose fresh green. I don't think we have fresh green anywhere. So I'm going to just change that color and say, okay. All right, so you can see it's a little bit different, and then it won't join with the other lime green parts. All right, there's that one, and then the snowman. So the snowman, you can see he needs to be underneath. He needs to be underneath the red and the green, but he shouldn't join with the wheels because the wheels need to be on the top. So I think if I just change the snowman color, I'm going to close up this train engine and find the train snowman number 6. So the 6th design, I think it's 6-1. Yep, 6-1. Actually, that looks like it's not all of it. Oh, here it is. I was only seeing these little black lines. So all of this part, I'm going to change him from Brother White, which is going to be the same as these other parts. I'm going to change him to a different color so that he will not join with the other white parts. So, oops, I shouldn't have clicked there. So 6-1, and then I'm going to click on the color down here, and I'm going to make him like cream brown, just so that he's a little bit different so that he won't join. He looks a little funny there, but that's okay. We've got a yellow snowman. Maybe not a good thing. That's okay for now. All right, so let's see. Are there any other parts that should be on top? So when we do our color sort, we want to make sure that all of the green, so that snowman should be first, and then all of the green parts, and then the red, and then the little details. So we should be okay. I don't think it will join those because we changed the color of that top hood. We changed the color of the snowman. This other white, it should be okay as long as we make sure that that's on the top. So I think we might be okay with all the other parts, as long as we reorder them a little bit after we do our color sort, because like this red detail will go away depending on where the green is. So let's go ahead and try it for now. Let's see what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to a color sort. I changed those two. Don't forget, I changed the color of the snowman and I changed the color of that top hood so that those won't join. And then we probably need to move things around, but I want to get it started at least so that we can see what needs to be changed. So let's go ahead and do a utility color sort. And make sure you have these same settings that I have. So tolerance is at 0. None of these are checked. Right now we're at 55 color steps, but it says it's reduced it by 23. So let's go ahead and just take a look and see what it did for us. So new view will open a new tab. We're on Untitled 1 right now where we've got 9 designs. When we go to Untitled 2, everything will be together in one design. And we may need to go back to the first one, but let's just see. So new view. There's our new tab. Everything's in one design. So I'm going to open this up. We have placement for the batting, all 3 blocks, perfect. Tack down for the batting, placement for the main fabric, tack down for the main fabric, and then the 3 quilting designs. So that part's all great. And then we have the placement and tack down for the number 2 fabric here, and then the placement and tack down for the number 5 fabric, and then the satin stitch for the 5 and the 2. So those are good. And then there's our December word. Now we go into that train. So right now it's stitching the red first, and that's what I was saying is we don't want that red on top or else we're not going to see that green detail. So let's see what it did. Where it's actually okay because it's a different color. So this looks really good. We're on Untitled 4. Wow, look at this, looks really good. We didn't lose any of our detail, but my guess is we didn't get everything joined together, and we probably can take it a step further, but wow, I'm impressed. We didn't lose any of the details at this point. So let's just take a look here. So we have that first red, and we should be able to do the reds together as long as this is one of the last items. So we should be able to put all of the reds together, because what happens is if we start stitching this out, we're like changing our colors constantly. We're like, oh, I'll stitch this little bit of red and then move on to this little bit of green, and there's all the green. So that's why I was saying is we want to have big chunks of colors doing. That would make it easier in my opinion. And don't forget, we want that snowman. It looks like it worked out because of the red is on top right now. So it did one part of the red. Let's see, here's another. This is the white. Oh, that's for the elf and the little window. I'm not sure what this, oh, it's probably just those. It's probably the elf socks and the window, whereas we should be able to get it to do all of this white together also. But let's just see what we've got. So here's red, red, red. It did group a bunch of the reds together, but not all of them. And that's okay so far. Let's just see. All right, and then that's what we want to make sure is that this white is after all of that red. So that's really good, but we should be able to get this red to go with these also. I'm thinking it has to be, we need it under the green, depending, let's see how big it is. Yeah, it looks like that's probably why it didn't do it, because we don't want that on top of our green. That's why. So I think we should probably keep that, because this, otherwise, if this is on top, we want this green to be on top of that red so that it looks like it's coming out of it. So maybe we'll just leave that. Let's see what else we've got here. So there's our wheels, our snowman. I would have thought that needs to be above the red. So this red must be separate. That's our snowman nose and the arms of our snowman, and probably his little smile too. And then there's that green and then a red. So that's what I was saying is I don't want to have to switch colors constantly, but we have to be a little careful because some things need to be above others. So there's our pink, the fuchsia, we could do those together too. And then there's our white. Oh, see, it's just doing this one wheels. We should be able to get these together. So I'm going to move them around a little bit and we'll just see how we do. We may need to come back to it if there's any fixes that need to be made. I'm thinking this red does need to be first so that we get the green. That one can be later. That doesn't matter. But it's got all the green. It doesn't have this green though. See how it's leaving out that green, probably because of that fuchsia. So I think that we can group this green in it as well, as long as the snowman is first. So I'm going to move that snowman. I'm going to start by doing that. So the cream brown, so 126 right now. I'm going to move this. Let's see if I want it to be, I think I want it to be the first thing that stitches. So I'm going to bring this up. And I won't be able to get it all the way up, but I'm going to get it pretty close and then just move it again. All right, so when you move it that way, you want to make sure to click on the picture, not the wording. If you click on the wording, it won't let you move it, but if you click on the picture, it does. So I got it up here to just under the December part, so that snowman is going to stitch first. That's the very first thing, so that makes it easy. All right, and then we have this red. I think we do need to keep that separate. Maybe I'll change the color of it just to make sure, because I want the green. I'm going to do all of the green. Let's see. Because I want the green underneath the other red, but on top of this red. So I'm going to change the color of this red. So I'm going to click on that 116, click on the color, and I'm going to change it to carmine, this darker pink here, just so that it's different, so that it won't join. All right, and then I can move it because I want the green up above here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this green. So this is a lot of the green, but it's not all of it because it's not doing that one, and I want it to include that. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't see any negatives with doing this. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. So I'm going to bring it up after my snowman. One more. If you don't get it all the way, an easy way is to right click on it and say move earlier. All right, so then we have our snowman, and we have most of the green, but not all. So I want to get this green in there too. So I'm going to find that. Looks like it's right there. Yep, 129. So I'm going to click on 129, and I'm going to bring it up. And then I'm going to bring it up a little more. I want it to be right under that other green. So right click on it, move earlier. All right, so then we have this green, and then it will join together. So that's better. As long as it doesn't have the red before it, we should be fine. Same with the pink. The pink will have to be after the green too. All right, so we have the snowman. We have all of the green now, I believe. Looks like we have all of the green now. And then this red, that could be later. It can be here. It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. All right, and then we have the white. So as long as it's on top of the green, which it is, so that's good. So we've got the white for the window, and then also the elf socks. So that's good. And then the dark fuchsia. There's another dark fuchsia, and it should be able to do with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that. Now keep in mind, as long as it's on top of the green. All right, so I'm going to find that other fuchsia right there. So this fuchsia, we should be able to bring that up with the other fuchsias. Click on the picture, bring it up. We'll have to do it again to get it further. Let's see, where was that? Here's fuchsia right there. So right click on it, move earlier. All right, so we have fuchsia and fuchsia. So that's good. And then we have all of the red. Right. Oh, it's got some of the reds, and there's more of the red. And again, as long as it's on top of the green, we should be good. Red, 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 red. Oh, that's the more wheels. That's good. All right. And then all of the white, that will be on top of all of that red. So that is perfect. That's what we want. Where was that other white? We had this white. So those, I don't want those to join together, so I think I'll make those a different white because we want, well, as long as it's after the green and before the pink would be good. After the green, there's all the greens are up here, and the pinks are after. So let's see. We want the red. All right, so we want the white after the red. We want it on top of these wheels. That's why this is different. All right, so, and it doesn't have these wheels. We want all of those wheels. So I'm going to bring, what's this one? That's those elf socks. Where's the one for that cart? There it is. All right, so there. All right, so I'm going to bring this up with this other white. Again, the red, we'll have to move that red. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that and bring it up with this other white. We may need to backtrack on that. I'll look at it in just a second. And then we have the olive green, that's the stick. So this red needs to be with the other red as long as it's after the green. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here with this other red. Right click, move earlier. There we go. All right, so I'm going to run through these and just check placement. So that's the thing that's super important is you want to see what's supposed to be on top of what and make sure to get that right. So we have the snowman first. That is good because he's underneath that cart, you can see. And then we have all of the green with this one. So those will join together. And all of the green, that's together. And then we have that part that's going to be on top of that green, so that's perfect. And that one, which will really be that same green, but I changed it just to make sure that it goes on top of this red, because that first red, which it's not really red. So actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to move this up. No, because we want that on top of the green, which is perfect. So we've got the green and then that red and then this one. Oh, I'm keeping it different just to make sure that it goes after this red. And this red is a different red. Let's see, we want that under the green, but we want this green over that. So I am going to keep this green separate. All right, do you see the wheels turning in my head trying to figure out what goes on top of what? All right, so there's our window and our elf socks, and that will be separate, and then it will do the fuchsia and the fuchsia. That's perfect because we've already done the green. Now we're going to work on the red. So we've got some of the red, because the elf socks, good. Red, more red, and more red. All right, they're a little out of order because this one, but so it'll jump around a little bit. So you know what, I'm going to put them in order. Let's see. That's fuchsia. So the first set of red, the next set of red. That red is good. That's fine. And then it's going to jump to this. Oh, that one. And then this one. So this one feels like it should be sooner. So let's see. I'm going to do it after that second one. Yep. I'm going to move this up to after the first part of the red. So we have this red, and this part doesn't matter. It's just kind of so it's not your machine's not jumping around too much. All right. They're all pretty close because they're minis anyway, so not too big of a deal. All right, that's good. Then we have the white on top of all of the wheels, and it doesn't have all of them because of that one, but it's right here. We moved it, so that's great. And then we have the snowman nose and the sticks of the snowman arms. So that should be really good. We're going to do another color sort. Right now we're down to 32 color steps, and when we do it again, we're going to have to watch and just make sure we don't lose any detail, because then we'll need to come back to this first tab. And it may say that it hasn't reduced it at all. I think it says something like the design has not changed, but it has been reduced or something the opposite of that. I don't remember. So right now we're at 32 color steps. Let's see what happens. Utility, color sort. Thanks. Don't forget to have these same settings. Click New View for a new tab. And it looks like we have not lost detail. That's good. Let's check it real quick. So we got all the way through the December. So there is our snowman, and then all of the green, and then that top piece that goes underneath that. Oh, you know what? This what we wanted to not be. We want it under. So I need to move this one. So 117, I'm going to click on that and right click on it and say move earlier, because we do want it to be before the green. I forgot about that. So snowman, and then that little top tube, whatever you call it, and then all of that green. It's all together now. That's good. And then the top tube piece to the top tube. I don't know what these things are called. Sorry. And then we have the window and the elf legs and all of the pink detail parts, and then some of the red. It still didn't do all of them, but they're next to each other, so it shouldn't stop. It should just keep going. Let's see. Red, perfect. Red. And then we have that separate white. So this white was the detail, and this white is the wheels white. All right. I don't know why couldn't we do those together? We want to make sure it's on top, so we want to make sure it's after the red, but we want it before the pink. So this is now just getting to like, oh, just saving time really, because I don't want to sit there and change my thread over and over. So if we move the white and then the pink, the white and the pink could come down. I'm going to move it down to this other white. So I'm going to grab, let's see, from the right, I'm going to grab this white and this pink, and I'm going to bring them down. Don't forget to click on the picture part, and I'm going to bring it down to this other white. And I need to bring it up one, right click, move earlier. All right, so then we have the white on top of the red, white and dark fuchsia. And that is the dark fuchsia, and then the snowman. Okay, so this is good. Let's check the detail. Looks like we haven't lost any detail. So we're at 28 steps now. I'm going to do one more color sort and just check and make sure. I'm going to do color sort, and it says this design page has been sorted but not reduced. New view, and we're down to 27. Look at that. We're doing great. All right, and then again, check and make sure that we didn't lose any detail. This looks really good. So after the December, we've got the snowman, that piece, the top piece for the engine, all of the green, and then that special green, which is perfect because we can do it, that lime green, the same color. It doesn't have to be separated, but we want it to make sure it's after. So that is really good. We could actually change it to lime green now and reduce it even one, but it's going to do it again. So it doesn't matter. So red, 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 lots of red, all on top. Those are perfect. And then we have the white for the wheels and for the window and the elf socks. Perfect. And then we have that pink detail and the snowman nose and the snowman arms. Perfect. So the only other thing that I would change is this one could be changed to the lime green. So it will do it all together because it's after this one anyway. So I am going to do that. You don't have to. It's up to you. I'm going to click on 118, click on the color, and I'm going to change it to that lime green. So it's up a bit, I think it was. Where'd you go? I'm going to close it and open it again because I think it was right above it. Right there. There we go. Lime green. It's funny, it doesn't look like it. Brother, lime green, see, okay. Brother embroidery. Oh, it is different. It's a 444, so it won't change it. I'm going to click on that color, and I'm going to choose, say, lime, and just see what comes up. That's the only one. That's interesting. But they're both brother, and it's not going to stop it anyway, so that we can go ahead and we'll just hit the go button on that one. I don't know how to find just that brother. Oh, I know how. I can go into my palettes. Look at that. So if I click on the color and go to palettes, then I should be able to find that lime green that's not the 444, and it will join together. Let's see. Mint, sea green sprout, lime green right there. Click OK. All right, and then it will do them all together. I'm going to go ahead and do a color sort one more time. We should be able to get it down to 26 steps. Let's just see. Utility, color sort, reduced but not sorted, or sorted but not reduced, sorry. New view, and we're down. It still says 27. That's interesting. Let's just check that. Make sure we didn't mess anything up. Looks good. All right. So there's the brother lime green. So it will do them together anyway. So that's good. All right. So this one is ready. We do need to do one more. We need to do the second hooping of this one. And like I said, if you want the engine, you could just do this one again. If you don't want another engine, I'm going to show you another alternative. So hold on. Oh, we got to save this one. Don't forget to save it. File, save stitch file as. And I'm going to bring it to my Jingle All the Way, embroidery files, and I'm going to name this section 4. I'm just going to say borders, even though there's also that December 25 block save. All right, and then we have one more to do, but I'm going to go eat dinner first. I'll be right back. All right, I was going to go eat dinner, but I want to get this done. So, like I said, if you want to do this train part, whatever, do it twice. Just copy and paste it into a, let's see, how would you do that? You would just copy and paste this part. So you would click on these. All right, and the quilting design. So you would hit the control button and get that first quilting design, or not the first, but the one with that goes with this. It's right here. So you would join that. You would actually have to do it from, let me think here. Well, you'd have to take these parts out and take it. So either way, you can do that one again if you wanted, or I'm assuming some people may not want the train engine again. So I'm going to show you another way to do the second hooping. So I'm going to go to File, New Page. And this one, I'm going to use my 6x10 hoop. So I'm going to come up, well, first to Preferences folder and choose my 6x10 hoop, say OK. Click this compass button and click H for hoop. And then let's see, I think we need to start from the original file because the color sorted one is not, you're not going to be able to click on the parts that you want unless you knew exactly what they were. Let me think here. So well, because this part is joined. So you would have to start from the first one, and that's fine because we've got parts joined and parts not. So I'm from Untitled 8, I'm going to go to Untitled 1, that first one, and I'm going to click on that quilting design, not that one, this one, number 3. So the third quilting design, and then I'm going to click on that, and then I'm also going to click on all of the engine parts. So I'm going to hit the control button and get all of these train parts, not the engine, actually start over. So number 3, and then hold down the control button while you get these designs. All right, not the engine. All right, and I'm going to say Control C to copy it, go back to my Untitled 8 tab, hit Control V like victory to paste. That didn't do it. There we go. And it brings it over to the side. That's funny because we were copying it from before. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it because, you know, I like to have it where I can understand it. It's too hard for me sideways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the hoop down here. If I double click on that hoop, it turns it, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the design as well with this right arrow button. All right, so it's centered. This is all perfect. This one is ready to go. Let me think here. Yeah, that's good. So anyway, sorry. So I'm going to show you what you can do to add in a part that's not the engine. So you could add in any one of these, like if you wanted another elf legs or another snowman, that would work. Or you can get one of the little flat cars. So I'm clicking on number 3. I'm going to say Control C, Control V. It goes right on top of that first one. And I'm just going to bring this over here. All right. So let's see here. I think actually I'm going to do that align and distribute now before I bring in something else. You could leave it like this. So keep in mind that it was train, snowman, flat car, elf, flat car. So you would have 2 flat cars together if you left it like that, and that works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Or you could add a little something in if you choose. So I'm going to do that just to show you how to do. Boy, this is quite a tutorial today, but you have lots of options. So I'm going to go ahead and align and distribute these just to make sure that everything is lined up, and then I'll add something in after. Let me think here. I wonder if I should do it. I think I will. Yeah, I'm going to do it before I bring something else in, just see if that makes it a little easier. So I'm going to close up this number 6. I am going to, let's see, I've got the snowman and the flat car, the elf, and then a flat car, and then a flat car. So I'm going to bring this above the snowman just so that everything is stitching in the right order. And actually it should be the opposite.
Let's see. Because if you think about it, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to click on this number 6 and I'm going to bring it above the snowman one. All right, so we've got the flat car, the snowman, the flat car, the elf, the flat car. All right, so that's how I'm going to have mine. You do yours how you want. So just like before, I want to align and distribute these and have them on the same line. They're actually really close, but I'm going to go ahead and check it to be sure. So from the right, I'm going to click and drag down so that I've got all of the 5 little train engine cars, or whatever you call them, train cars. And I'm going to go to Utility, Align and Distribute, and I'm going to start with just saying bottom so that I'm going to move this so you can see it better. So these will line up. I'm assuming this will move down just a tiny bit. Yep. Okay, good. And then from the Distribute tab, what was it? So bottom and spacing, I think is, oh, you know what? I forgot. Before I do that, I'm going to close this. I want to move this one car, click outside so nothing's selected. I'm going to move this car over here. There will be a little bit more space in between, but at least then they will take up the entire space, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do that align and distribute again. I'm going to close up these so that I can get all of them, and I'm going to, from the right, click and drag to get all of the little train cars. So from here, I'm going to go, so make sure you've got one of them. You could bring one of them in. I'm going to do that. Click outside so that then I'm going to bring in just this car. Why isn't it letting me click on that car? Oh, you know why is because we grouped it. I wonder if that's why. I don't know. Because it lets me do it individually. I'm just going to click on that last car. So it's the 6th design, and I'm just going to bring it over a little bit more so that we don't have too much space. I'm going to bring these over. All right, so just remember the first one and the last one should be where you want them so that then they can all distribute between there, but you don't want to have it be, did we do it within the, no, just those 2. All right, so from here, I'm going to close this so that I can get all of them. Make sure you've got all of your train parts selected. And then I'm going to say Utility, Align and Distribute. And I'm going to do that bottom part again since I moved them a little bit. So I'm going to say bottom, apply, and then that train car moved down a little bit. I'm going to go to Distribute, and I'm going to say bottom and spacing. And then these should all move so that they're all would have the same amount of space in between them. Let's see what happens. And it didn't do it. Why is that? Close. I'm going to see if I have them grouped. See how it's not letting me. I'm going to see if I've got them grouped. I don't think I did because I don't have that clicked on. Oh, I do have that clicked on. Is that why? Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it still does it. All right, so I'm going to say ungroup just in case. I'm clicking all of these, Utility, no edit, ungroup. All right, and then can I click on, nope, it still does not let me do it. I don't care. I'm moving on. All right, so why didn't these distribute correctly though? Let's see. Okay. So I think it was that they were grouped, but it wasn't grouped with the quilting design. The cars were all grouped. So I clicked on, I'm just going to close these so we can see everything. I clicked on just the ones that were there before, and I clicked edit ungroup, and that seems to do it. Now I can click on each individual one. So that should fix it. I'm going to get this back to where it should be. Oh, it doesn't matter. So I want it to be in a little bit, and it doesn't have to be right. And it's kind of more fun to see them move when they're a little haphazard. All right, so I'm going to get all 5 of these trains, and I'm going to go to Utility, Align and Distribute, and I'm going to start with just the bottom. Move this so that we can see it. Apply, and now they're all lined up. Now I go to the Distribute tab and click on bottom and spacing and cross my fingers and hope it does it, and it did. Yay! All right, so this has a little bit more space between them than the first set, but they're still, I think it's just fine. So the other option is you could bring them in a little bit more if you wanted. I think this is great. I'm quite happy with it. So I'm leaving this as is. I think that looks really good. I was thinking I might move it up a bit, but it doesn't look like I need to. It looks like they're centered very well. So this is good. All right, now is that the color sorting and moving things around as we need it. So we want to make sure to have, let's see, I'm checking it. It looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the color sort, and then I'm going to move them around from there. It looks like my snowman has already changed color. Yep, he's still that cream brown. So that should make things quite a bit easier. And we don't have that pink, although actually we do, because this one is that pink. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a color sort. So, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, so I'm going to do a utility color sort. Right now we have 33 color steps for these little 5 cards in the quilting design. Let's see, color sort. And don't forget these same settings. It's reduced it by 15. Click new view. It opens another tab. And then we can see where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and double click on that hoop again just to turn it. All right, so there's our placement for our batting, our tack down for our batting, our placement for the main fabric, our tack down for the main fabric. And when I say main fabric, it's that border block. And don't forget, we're going to do it like we do the inner and outer borders, where we'll line it up. And I'll show you that in photos, but we're all good. All right, and there's the quilting design. And there is the green. So what detail did we lose? Let's check that first. It looks like we're okay. That's interesting. Let's check it. All right, so there's the green. It's doing all of the green first, and then we have one bit of red, more red, which is fine, because those will actually join together. It's not saying it's joined, but it will. Good. Red. So we do want that snowman earlier, because the snowman is down here and he shouldn't be, because we should be losing some of this red, but we aren't for some reason. That's okay. But I'm going to move them up just in case. And then there's more red, and then there's all of the white for the wheels and for the elf, and we want that late. That's good. This we want earlier. What is this one? That is the snowman nose and the snowman sticks. And then there's that, that's why it did this on top. That's why it did not. So we can join that. We just have to bring the snowman up first. And then there's that. All right, so that is good. I'm going to go ahead. I want to bring up this snowman. So I'm just going to click on him and drag him up. We'll have to do it again to get him up toward the top. Let's see, where are we? I think right before the lime green. Let's do that. Up one more, move earlier. All right, so there's our quilting design. There is our snowman. So it's going to do our snowman first, and then all of the green. And then we have one bit of red, but we can keep going. There's lots of red to do. Red, all good. Red. And then there's white, but no, see, we want this red up here too, because the red, it should do all the reds together. So this red we can bring up with the other red. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to move this up to the other reds. So we've got red. My guess is it's going to jump around. I'm just going to check real quick here. All good. So it should be up here with that before the second red. That's good. Very good. All right. And then the wheels and that. So why are well, that's fine. Red. All right, so this one I'm just going to move up a little bit so that it's not jumping all around. It should be like the second spot. I'm going to go ahead and just move this to the second red. Yeah, so we're getting all of these red parts together. Good, because it will actually join, so that's good. All right, and then all of the white wheels and the white elf socks and then his nose and the sticks, and then that pink part, the little detail. So that's all really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do a color sort again. We've got 18 color steps. It should bring it down a tiny bit, but I'm not sure how it works as far as the numbers. So let's just check it. So right now you can see we're not missing any detail. We're all good. So utility, color sort. And it says it's been sorted but not reduced. I'm going to click new view for one more and change that. Well, I don't need to. I'm going to open this up and just see. So we are down to 17 color steps. So we should be all good. Just I'm going to look at it, make sure we didn't miss any detail. It looks great. Great, great, great. Okay, that's good. All right, so from here, I'm going to rotate everything to the left. But, yep, it should work. Let's see. Good. All right, so then we will do this as the second hooping. Oh, I forgot to tell you that you can add something to that first hoop. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it back. I'll just say undo. All right, and I'm going to change that to hoop just so I can see it straight. So you can leave this as is. It's great, but keep in mind that that first one does end on a flat car. So if you wanted to add a little something extra at the end without having to do another color sort, you could do that. So I'll give you a for instance. I'll open up some designs I have. Embroidery file. So this little gingerbread man from, this is from So Cha Cha as well. A bunch of us bought this when we were doing whisk. I think it was on whisk. It might have been on ginger. I don't remember now. But we could add this in if we choose. I'm assuming the 1 inch would be the one. Let's just see. It goes to the center. Might be too big. Yeah, it's too big, but we can shrink it down. So you could add, this is just, you know, if you wanted, you could add a gingerbread to the top. And we do need to shrink it down a little bit because she's pretty big. Let's see. And then just eyeball it to center it. And then I'm going to zoom in to see how that looks. Oh, that's really cute. Very cute. All right, so that's an idea. You could add a little something extra so you don't have 2 carts if you want. Totally optional, obviously. So that looks really cute. That's pretty fun. All right, you could add stuff to all of them. A few empty carts is fine. But then this way you don't have the 2 carts together separate. But you know, either way, I mean, this is really darn cute. So I'm not going to do another color sort. I'll do this little ginger girl separately, but that is really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate my hoop by just double clicking that hoop sign. And then I'm going to choose all of this and rotate it left to make sure you've got all the parts. See, I didn't have that ginger. So I'm going to click undo. So another option is to click all of these that way, or you can group it, whatever's going to work for you. That did it. So that was how to do it. So compass button H, and that's for the second hooping. I think this is pretty darn cute. You can do it without the ginger girl. You can do it without the train. You have so many options here. All right, so I'm going to save this file, save stitch file as. And I'm going to say section 4, sorry, borders, I can type borders 2, because this is the second hooping. Save. All right, so I didn't send it to my machine. I'll do that. Utility send to Solaris. I didn't do it for the other one, so I will open that one as well. If you don't have that, you would just transfer it to a USB stick. Where is our 7? There it is. I'm going to say utility send to Solaris. Okay, this is going to be fun. See, that's that last card that I was telling you about. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead, and this was a big one. Oh my gosh, I'm not looking forward to editing this video. This is going to be a big time dump, but super cute, super fun, way to personalize it. You could add a wording that would certainly be simpler. You can leave it with just the quilting, whatever works for you. Let's get started.
by my shirt today. I just finished this one. So my friend Cristin came over and we both embroidered a side design. So she had never done one. I had only done one. And we chose this different. So a lot of people, I talked to you on my last video, a lot of people are doing like the split seam one. And I did mine. I did do that, but I did it up higher and I really like how it came out. I really like that technique and simple. And I bought a sweatshirt with the little seam, the little side seam in it, the little cut, whatever you call it, slit. That's it, a side slit in it. So that worked really well for me. So I bought another one. I got a blue one and I did the same thing, but this time instead of a slit design or a side split design. Instead, I did a fully side design, just side. All right. So let me first show you the front of it. Happy, bright, joyful. I think it says joyful. Yep. Happy, bright, joyful, love. This is from Designs by Juju. It is super cute. I really like it. There's all this very detail stitch, a different detail stitch inside each letter. I thought that was just so cool. So fun. The biggest design was only 5x7 though. So I enlarged it to make it a little bit bigger using Embellishment Essentials. Super easy to do. So Designs by Juju, I will add a link underneath this video of where you can get the design. The shirt is from Amazon. It's the same as the one I showed you yesterday that I did the jingle with the Christmas tree on the side. So this one, I did this snowman. How cute is he? And you can see he's just side. So there's no split or anything like that. He's just a side design. And with that sweatshirt that has a slit already. So I just put it right above the end there, right above the slit, and his little hands go across. So you can see he's right on the seam, but then his little mittens go right across. So I thought that was just so cute and really fun to do. So the snowman design, my friend Christy did a reindeer. I did the snowman. I also bought an angel. I bought a few of them. So Applique Alley, they have several new side designs and they're just super cute. Mine is a zigzag. I think hers was a satin stitch, but just really cute, so fun. And I heard that she's coming out with even more of them and everything's on sale right now too. So check out Applique Alley. They have a lot of really cute side designs. I thought that was super fun. And don't forget to get the sweatshirt. The sweatshirt makes it so easy. It's got that little slit all ready for you. So I'm going to add a link here to my Amazon storefront. If you didn't get one of those sweaters, get it now because there's a ton of them, but they're also going quickly. So check that out. I bought another one today. I bought a brown one. I can't wait to show you what I'm going to do on that one. I think that'll be really fun. And then once that one comes, I have another plan for another one. So fun ideas. I love making winter sweaters. Winter sweaters are really good and nice and warm because it's so cold here. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. So fun shirt. I really like this one. I can't wait to see yours too. And how are you doing with your goal? Oh my gosh, I am rocking my goal, I have to tell you. So I took 1 or 2 days off this weekend, right? Maybe it was just one. And then one day I just did a long walk with my hubby. We never even got our heart rate up. But anyway, so Monday and Tuesday, I did really good workouts. And today, I didn't have enough time to do a big workout. So last night I did these 2 bike rides that had me in the red zone. I was like working hard and it was in between the 2 rides, it was like 18-ish miles, something like that, with over 2,000 feet of climbing. So just monster climbing, really hard, heart rate high. I worked it really good. I was really proud of myself. I worked really hard on that. And then today I didn't have enough time to be able to do a full workout. All kinds of stuff just kept getting in the way. You know how you have days like that where you're like, come on, I had a plan. I actually broke a tooth. I was up till 2 a.m. working on our tutorial and I'm sitting at my desk and my tooth just fell out of my mouth. Literally just fell. I wasn't eating. There was nothing. I was absolutely heartbroken. I was so upset. So then it was an emergency run to the dentist today that took 2 hours. So just everything got changed. So I didn't have enough time for a full workout. So I picked this one on my treadmill with John Peel. He's a trainer on iFit and it was running in Australia. It was a 5K run along this beach, and it was absolutely beautiful, and it was an actual event. So there were tons of people, all of them running along the beach for this run, and it was like 40 minutes long, and a, what do you call it, a 5K. So that was a really good workout. I definitely pushed it hard, got into the red zone several times. So good workout. I was really happy with that. My friend came over over the weekend, and we made a shirt. I bought a couple more things to make, and I have to show you this, because I'm trying to work on projects in between our Jingle All the Way project, and get caught up on other things that I want to do. Have you seen where people have made a bag out of a candy bag? So I'm going to try that. That's my next thing. And last night I made a Bible, a journal cover. I was happy with that. But look at this little Yeti. Oh my gosh. I have a little bit of an obsession with Yetis. And so I saw that, and I'm like, oh, I got to make him into a bag. I think that will be so cute. I've never done that before. So I'm going to try that out. I think that will be super fun. It keeps it interesting when you do something that you haven't tried before. So that will be fun. I'm going to do that. So I'm making sure to get my workouts, to eat healthy, to document how much I'm eating, all of my calories, all of that, and then also work on projects in between. So I'm doing good with my goal. I want to hear about your goal. So my gym, remember, I'm doing this challenge at the gym, and it ends next week. So I got to just like keep going strong until the finish line, until I can finish this challenge. So how are you doing with your goal? I want to hear about it. My mouth is sore. Oh my gosh. I had to fix that broken tooth today, so it's sore when I smile. Anyway, tell me about your goal. I want to hear how you're doing.